We're back on NFL Live. Let's get Jeremy Fowler in here with some top stories. Lots of news coming out of Cleveland this week. Jeremy, what's the latest there?
Yeah, lots of Browns here. I'll start with Isaiah Bond, receiver out of Texas. Oh, no, we're going Quinshon Judkins. Yep. I'm sorry.
All good.
Prosecutors have declined to file a misdemeanor battery charges against Judkins dating or stemming from a July incident in South Florida. So that does set the stage for him to sign his rookie contract with the Browns. I'm told that is not done yet. That will likely be a fully guaranteed deal. When that does get done, he factors to be a major player for the Browns in their backfield this year if he can get on the field. Then Isaiah Bond. He was a wide receiver out of Texas who was not drafted, had a sexual assault case that affected his stock. He was largely projected to be a starting caliber player in the draft coming out, somewhere day 2, day 3 range. Didn't happen. Bond issued a statement thanking the Cleveland Browns for believing in me. I'm told there is no contract yet, but it looks like his NFL future should be resolved here in the near future. Now we got Dillon Gabriel. He is slated to start tomorrow against the Eagles. I'm told that he is trending in the right direction, is expected to start, but they want to make sure his hamstring issue is all good in the morning. So they're going to sleep on it. They're going to check on him tomorrow, make sure he can move around, evade pass rush, all that. Should be good to go. So it'll be Dillon Gabriel, and it will be Tyler Huntley. The rest of the quarterbacks are either hurt, or in the case of Joe Flacco, they're treating him like a starter. They're waiting until the third preseason game for him to play.
All right, so we'll see. Sounds like a chance to see Gabriel potentially, maybe if not a lot of Snoop Huntley. But Bill, let's say Gabriel's getting the starting nod tomorrow. The hamstring's all fine. What will you be watching from him?
I want to see what kind of offense the Browns are running with him, because he was in a system at school where it was a very spread offense, a lot of RPOs. That's not what the Browns are going to do. They are not built to do that with this roster. It is going to be more run game. It's going to be more quick game, and it's going to be more throwing downfield. And that's some of the questions people had about Dillon Gabriel heading into the NFL. Does he have the arm to throw outside the numbers? Does he have the arm to throw deep, maybe off a play action? And I want to see if the Browns put him in opportunities and situations where he can do that in this game. Is he just running a simple offense just to try and keep things going? Or is this more of a job interview? Is this more of a, hey, can you do these things that we're not maybe sure you can do when it comes to Sunday? Can he do it now? If he does it, I think it's going to be a good opportunity for him to maybe win that roster spot with really his best chance to get significant playing time this week.
Yeah, again, I mean, the pressure is on for those quarterbacks. Of course, Shedeur Sanders dealing with the oblique injury, but he had a nice showing in his chance at the preseason. It's Dillon Gabriel's turn now. In case you missed it, earlier this week, the Titans' #1 overall pick, Cam Ward, had some high expectations for his offense heading into the season.
I think we honestly have the ability to be a top 10 offense, but also it goes on every guy in that huddle, including myself, bringing the right mindset every day. And us also playing together. I think that's the biggest things that we always put together. We never point fingers at each other on both sides of the ball. And we just got to always have that mindset that we can be the best offense in the NFL. And then it really just comes with just us caring about each other on the field, off the field. And I think a lot of that stuff will translate to the game.
By the way, I think so well said by Cam Ward, but let's talk top offenses, okay? Last season, the Ravens were the best offense in the NFL by expected points added. The Lions, Bills, Commanders, and Buccaneers rounded out the top 5. The only 2 teams that ranked in the top 10 that failed to make the postseason were the Bengals and the Cardinals. A lot of that had to do with the defenses. All right, let's have some Friday fun. Why not, people? This is going to be great. We've got Mina. She's going to list her top 5 offenses heading into the 2025 season. Mina, start us off. Take us through your top 5.
All right, I'm going to start at 5 with the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know folks, Eagles fans, might be hearing this and saying, we just won the Super Bowl. Almost everybody's coming back. We're stacked. I understand. However, it cannot be forgotten that prior to the Super Bowl, during much of the regular season, there were ups and downs with the passing attack. There also was a change at offensive coordinator. That said, this offense remains stacked. Defenses are constantly having to key in to stop the run, and thus you get one-on-ones for A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So I do have the Eagles as a top 5 offense this year, and would not be surprised if they do even better. All right, moving on to number 4. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs, the other team in the Super Bowl. So there is some skepticism around this group, I think because they weren't explosive last year. But while they weren't explosive, they were still a top 10 offense in success rate. They were first in time of possession per drive. And they get back that guy, Rashee Rice, who, for those who have forgotten, before he got injured last year, for the second half of his rookie season through week 3, he led all receivers in the league in yards after the catch. I think he is the missing piece in this offense. Hopefully they can be more explosive, but if not, the passing game will be more efficient. don't. Staying in the AFC, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals, who, Laura, you talked about this. They were a top 5 offense in both EPA per play and DVOA last year. One of the reasons why I think they're going to be even better this year is no drama this offseason. No contract issues, no injuries. So you roll in having paid your top 2 wide receivers. You kept your 2 wide receivers, and they should be able to get off to the hot start that's been dragging them down statistically in recent years. Pardon me. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Enough said with the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 2 is close between 1 and 2, but I'm going to go with the Bills at 2, of course, led by their MVP quarterback, Josh Allen. Not a group of world beaters at receiver. Doesn't matter when you have 17 under center and a dominant run game. Just paid James Cook, so no change there. This is an extremely good offensive line. And those receivers might not be, amongst the best in the NFL, but they get favorable looks because of all the attention paid to the quarterback stopping the run, face a ton of single high coverage. I think they're still going to be efficient, explosive. Number 1 should not be any surprise. Baltimore Ravens, because they were the best offense in football last year. First in DVOA, first in EPA per play, first in explosive play rate, first in red zone rate. I mean, pick any metric you want. And largely everyone returns outside of a little bit of change on the offensive line. They also added DeAndre Hopkins. I think Isaiah Likely, who will be a little bit injured at the beginning of the season, has the potential to take a huge leap this year. Love the addition of Keaton Mitchell, or not addition, pardon me, the return from injury of Keaton Mitchell to this stacked running back room led, of course, by Derrick Henry. The Ravens are a wagon, and I see no reason why that should stop, especially because Todd Monken, their offensive coordinator, remains in the building, and he has been fantastic. Oh, I didn't even mention Lamar Jackson, who might be the best quarterback in football.
You know that guy. Mina, as you might expect, I love your list. I think it's excellent. Let's bring Bill in, though, see if he wants to poke any holes in Mina's list. What do you think, Bill?
Oh, it's always dangerous to disagree with Mina Kimes.
Yeah,
that is not
it.
a good place for anyone to be. But I am going to just throw out the Detroit Lions not making it into this top 5. One of the best offenses in football. They're returning so many of their playmakers. No, they don't have Ben Johnson, but would you put them maybe if the Chiefs are not necessarily at full strength with Rashee Rice missing for part of the year with their offensive line woes? I could see Lions fans sending some tweets right now as we're recording this show.
Yeah, I think you could make a case for the Lions inside the top 5. That was the one where I went back and forth between them, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. For me, this is the Ben Johnson thing. It's also about the interior of the offensive line. But I think by the end of the season, they're going to be rolling again. They're just too talented not to be.
There's so many good teams on this list. I zero in on that number 3, the Bengals. And we talked to Joe Burrow today ahead of our Monday Night Football preseason game coming up. He's so healthy. He feels great. He's talking about the offense needs to be better than it was last year. And I'm like, could it get better? I guess it could, but wow, that's scary for every defense that's going to have to go up against him. All right, coming up, Sam Darnold will take the field for the first time as a Seahawk tonight against the Chiefs. Find out what Bill wants to see from Seattle's new quarterback to make sure they get the most out of their offense next. This is a really interesting preseason game, I think. I can't wait to see what Darnold brings to the table. We'll be right back.